Why do some say this world might be a simulation? Even Elon Musk once stated that the odds of us living in the real world are almost zero. It sounds like science fiction. But more and more evidence seems to be shaking our belief in reality. For example, quantum mechanics tells us that before observation, a quantum particle exists in a superposition, multiple states at once. It's as if the world only renders when we look at it. Doesn't that sound like a resource-saving mechanism in a video game, where only what's in view is rendered, like light? Light's speed remains constant in all scenarios. Even if you run toward it, it still passes you at the same speed. This counterintuitive phenomenon makes perfect sense in a system programmed by a codec, even with strange blank lengths. At the smallest scale of physics, when we zoom in far enough, things become blurry, just like zooming into a picture until you see the individual pixels. Could this mean that our reality is, in fact, made up of information or data? And then there's the black hole mystery. It devours everything, even light can't escape, yet information doesn't seem to disappear. Instead, it's stored in a different form. Just like dragging a file to the recycle bin, it doesn't truly vanish, the system just hides the access path. You may have heard of the Mandela effect. Tens of thousands of people misremember the same event. Like recalling Mandela dying in prison decades ago, even though he actually died in 2013. This kind of mass memory error feels like a cache bug after a hot system update. Look at the vast universe. The Milky Way alone has hundreds of billions of stars, and billions of potentially habitable planets. Yet we've found no trace of life. It's like a fish in a perfectly sterile aquarium. It doesn't realize it's isolated behind 6 layers of glass. So, are we living inside some giant simulation tank? Digging deeper, where does consciousness even come from? If fundamental particles combine to form a human body, how does the self suddenly emerge? Who pressed the start button in our bodies? Do we truly have free will, or are we simply executing pre-written code? Even science itself feels like predefined rules. Everything is orderly, governed by laws we can decode, used to predict the future, and control energy. So is the timeline, the reality, the process, really natural? If everything is too logical, maybe it's been programmed that way. Maybe we're not perceiving the world, maybe the world is uploading into us. So the final question is, do you believe what you see is real?